Hey guys, it's Laura Debenedictis, the AMB Australian champion here. We're coming here today at the Gen-Tec headquarters and we're going to be filming a back and hamstring workout. So in terms of why I do a back and hamstring workout, it's pretty much the posterior chain of the body. So most of our females, we want to make sure that we've got, good glutes, nice back. We generally like to have a little bit more width through the upper back, so it does make our waist look a little bit smaller, and a nice hamstring tie-in with our glutes as well. So for the very first part of today's workout, I'm going to start with a compound movement. That compound movement being a deadlift. So generally I like to start with one or the other. So that would be a deadlift or say a squat. I've chosen a deadlift for today. So with the deadlift, yes, it targets your lumbar, or your lower back, I should say, but it also is a full body exercise as well. So if in terms of looking for growth and maximum growth, it's one of the three big exercises that I love to do in order to maximize muscle growth. So those three exercises being either a squat, a bench, or a deadlift. So today I've chosen to do the deadlift because we will couple that with our back exercise and hamstrings. So let's get started. Okay guys, so we're here, we're about to start our deadlifting. With a deadlifting technique, any deadlifting technique, one of the most important parts to ensure that we are protecting our lumbar spine or our backs is that the bar is always kept very close to the body line and actually on our legs the whole time. That's the best way to think about it. So whether I'm doing a Roman deadlift, a stiff leg deadlift, or this is going to be a conventional deadlift today, we want to ensure that the bar is right back on the legs through the entire movement. So if your spine does tend to round or anything like that, you will be protecting your back by having the bar through the center of the body. When the bar swings out, that's when you start to compromise your lumbar spine. All right, so we're gonna start with shoulder width apart. Generally, I do like to do this barefoot as well, but I've chosen to just use my shoes for today. Hands on either side of the knees, always looking forward. Okay, we don't want to be straining our neck. We want to have a nice neutral spine. Hands on either side. Your legs are taken quite high. So if you were doing a Roman, you would drop right down and really use your glutes. If you're doing conventional, legs fairly high up. Okay, looking forward, keeping the bar close, lift. All right, so that's our warm-up set. All right, so we're using some straps as we go heavier. Generally, as I go heavier, I find that I'm chasing the bar a lot and I don't like to change my grips around too much. So I use these straps here, best 20 bucks you'll ever spend. They'll last forever. So next up, I'm going to be doing a leg press. Now there's many different ways you can use the leg press to target different areas of your legs, hamstring, quads, glutes, whatever it may be. So with the leg press, generally if I'm trying to hit my hamstrings and a little bit of glute as well, I'll have my feet up a little bit higher. When your feet up are higher, you're going to hit that posterior chain a lot better than if your feet are further down, you're going to really hit your quads. Okay, so what you want to do is make sure that your back is nice and flat. Lift up. Okay, coming down, loading those hams and glutes. And then we're going to go into a wide lat pull down. So wide, so we're going to be hitting our lats. Upper lats really, and then I want to go straight into a heavier underhand lat pull down. So if you look at a lot of the back work that I do, it'll be wide into close, and it's just so that yes, I'm hitting the width of my back and I'm getting that width through my upper back and my lats, but I'm also hitting my lower lat and my rhomboids. So changing your position with your hands and utilizing that in different ways in different exercises, you'll get better overall growth through your back. So we're going to hit legs again. So this is round 2 and hit our hamstrings. So again, legs up nice and tall. Okay, we want to hit that posterior chain. If the legs were down here, we'd be really smashing our quads, which we don't want to do. So we're trying to bring up those hamstrings. So lift up. Next up we have a stiff leg deadlift movement. So, you'll see a lot of people doing some of the common mistakes, which is bending the knee a lot, which really makes it a Roman deadlift when you do that. And stiff leg doesn't mean that your knees are fully locked out either in the movement. So you do need to have soft knees, but basically the movement is you're hinging down from the waist, again keeping the bar close or on your legs it should be through the whole movement, feeling the stretch through that hamstring. And straight up again, squeeze. 1, 2, 3. Tempo, drive up, 1, 2, a little quicker. All right, so we're gonna give that a go. We're gonna do that and then we're gonna move into our single arm row as our superset. That was single arm row. You wanna keep your body parallel to the floor, really squeezing, hitting that lat. Also hits the rhomboids. It is a close movement. Some of the things you don't want to be doing is taking the weight up here where it's hitting your trap a lot. The way I cue it to a lot of my clients is take it to the belly button line and really contract your back. Obviously when you're supersetting, it becomes a lot harder. So you may need to take the weight down so you don't compromise your form as much, depending on what you're doing as well. Another thing I will mention that I do is when I do unilateral training, which means single-sided training or one side at a time, I never let the same side start all the time. I alternate the side that starts, okay? You're not allowing one side to constantly lead. So I finished with my left, now I'm going to start with my left. All right, guys, so our final superset, it's one of my favorite hammer strength machines. As I mentioned before, I like the unilateral stuff or the single side stuff. So this machine, great for time constraints. You can go at the same time, but again, you're working both sides of your body equally or evenly because you're forcing each side to work on its own, right? So you can, what I find is if I really want to go quite heavy, I'll just do single-sided one at a time and I can hold myself in and get some really good weight out. If not, I like to go together, obviously. You can go close or quite wide. So because I finished off on a close movement, I wanted to use a little bit more wider work for my lats. So I'm going to use the top of this particular machine here. Okay, so keeping my chest on the pad, feet down nice and planted, elbows slightly up as we come back. Okay, you don't want to engage the trap here. So I see a lot of people, this is certainly not what you want to do. You want to be driving through your back, full extension, drive, squeezing through your lats. Straight over to lying leg curl. Round 2, we'll go a bit heavier. Alright guys, thanks for watching the back and hamstring session here today. As you can see, I like to do a lot of supersets, a little bit of volume work. I find that it works really well with my lifestyle. I get good results from it. So look, if you're a little bit time poor and you want to hit your posterior chain, get that nice width through your upper back and really get that good hamstring sweep and tie into your glutes, then that's definitely an awesome workout for you to give it a go. So thanks guys, and see you next time.